Hello everybody, it's Mystic and welcome back to my library. This is another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. We are here in Elpis, which I am just completely in love with. This place is absolutely beautiful, and Hythlodeus is too. So we are going to continue where we left off in the last episode. We are talking to Hermes and Meteion right now. So let's see where we go here. Well, we mustn't keep the others waiting. Let us return to Anagnoresis. My apologies for the trouble. Owing to your kind assistance, all the Ambistomas are safe and well. I will presently send them back to their space. If you would go on ahead to the main building. Upon entering, you will see a table and chairs, a meeting area. We will speak there. Very well. Take care not to let the creature slip away again. Can I have one as a minion? Please? Please? Please?
This appears to be the place.
I would think so.
And here is where we part ways.
Don't be so quick to get rid of me.
We will be discussing highly sensitive affairs. Only a select few may be privy to such knowledge, and that does not include someone who cannot or will not divulge their origins. What? Will I have to remove you by force?
I have important things to say to him as well. There are reasons I cannot speak freely.
Let's hear them then. These reasons of yours. Who knows? If I deem your mysterious cause worthy, I may even be inclined to offer my assistance.
Okay, but I can't really tell you all that much.
I do not object to her attendance.
Ah, thank you.
Hermes, this is highly irregular.
Perhaps, but I believe she can be trusted. Meteion would not have taken to her so quickly otherwise.
Meteion. I keep saying Meteion.
Moreover, the presence of a third party may help me to maintain composure.
Okay.
As you wish, then. Behave yourself. Do you hear?
Yes, sir. I wonder if Hermes is going to take off his mask.
So, it's finally happened, then.
Aye. Van Daniel has declared his intention to step down, and named you as his preferred successor. In recognition of your knowledge and your works, the Convocation is giving the recommendation due consideration. As one who does not know you personally, I am to use my impartial eye to take your measure. And above all else, to ascertain your disposition towards the invitation. I understand that you and Van Daniel are close. He himself was once chief overseer of Elpis after all.
Was he?
I should not be surprised if you knew before anyone else that he wished to relinquish his office.
Wait, did Elpis tell us that before? I know he said that he was Hermes. Oh, maybe he did say it, actually. I think he did.
I did. He told me that when he fulfilled his purpose, he wished to pass the torch to me.
A torch you seem none too pleased to accept. Are you so averse to serving on the Convocation?
No, it's not that. For a humble researcher like myself to even be considered is an honor beyond words. No. What troubles me, what I struggle to come to terms with, is the very fact that Van Daniel is stepping down. Does this not mean that he will return to the Star?
Of his own volition, yes, like so many others have before him.
Return to the Star? Does that mean die?
Well now, that's not a word I hear often. Is that what you say here in Elpis? Mankind is the life of Aetheris. Each of us, a drop of blood flowing through its veins, bearing sustenance. In our finite time upon it, 'tis our duty to make it a better place, that all who call it home, now and in future, may abide in happiness. To that end, we have dedicated ourselves to the pursuit of enlightened creation. And by our efforts did we transform this once untamed wilderness into the peaceful paradise you enjoy today.
This place reminds me a lot of Labyrinthos.
To return to the star whence we came is a privilege afforded to we who have so loved and nurtured it. A choice embraced by those who have lived their lives to the fullest, in service to our world. And when they depart upon this journey, it is beautiful, always.
By the way, I forgot to mention, it is still Saturday when I'm recording this, so my kids are home, so if you hear doors opening and closing, that's them.
The 14 are no exception. 'Tis believed no occasion is more felicitous than the fulfillment of one's duty. Our office becomes our lives, and to retire is to return, or so the majority of us hold. Some few have elected to eschew custom. Mayhap you feel Fandaniel's deeds do not warrant his return. Yet you should know his accomplishments as well as any. During his time, he conceived of countless outstanding concepts. And channeling the wealth of experience he attained here in Elpis, he brought forth many new specimens.
I know of all this. I do.
I wonder what he made.
It's just... I cannot fathom why someone so great and wise, who could still do so much good, would want to end it all. Oh no. I've made her upset. Forgive me. I know I requested your presence. Might I trouble you to take Meteion outside? A change of scenery would do her good.
I'm sorry, Celeste. I didn't mean... a walk. Perhaps we can go for a walk? Hermes gets sad when he thinks about death. When others are sad, I'm sad too. That's how I am. How he made me. But don't worry, I'm fine now. So, why did you come here? That is a very long story. You want to learn about Elpis and Hermes? Oh, teach you. I can teach you. We could take turns. I'll tell you something, and then you tell me something. Okay. Sounds like fun. It will be. It will be. Where to start? Ah, yes. I like to talk to Memnon. He should be near the Aetherite. As in Agamemnon? Isn't that a name from Greek mythology? I'm not good at explaining, but Memnon is. So I'll have him explain anything instead. Meteion is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side in order to proceed. Okay. Ah, the Aetherite. Anyone can use it to teleport anywhere. Well, maybe not anywhere. Not to the ground or other isles. For that, you need teleporters. Oh, and permission. Helpful. And what have we here? Though you look like a person, you can easily pass for a toy. I assume you are familiar with Meteion. Is there something you need? This is Celeste. Could you teach her about Elpis? Ah, newly arrived familiar, is she? Very well. I should be glad to introduce our fair facility to her. As you know, it is mankind's duty to make this star a better place. As part of this duty, we employ creation magics to bring forth new life. However, we simply cannot release our works into the world, for it would lead to chaos. No, any and all life forms must undergo extensive testing to determine their fitness to exist. Testing which is conducted here in Elpis. Oops! Shoot! Hang on. I skipped something. Every candidate is subjected to rigorous study in which we identify their properties, surmise what habitats might be suitable, and speculate as to the effects they have on the environment and other species. Okay. No! I am screwing up. Should it be judged a beneficial addition to the star, it will be allowed to take its place in the world. The two of you, too, were created with the hope of making the star a better place, so heed your masters well and be good. Do you hear? We will, Memnon. We will. Thanks for the lesson. Where did you come from? That is a good question. From a galaxy far, far away. Yes, this one. And I probably don't know it. I don't know much about other places. But this place is important to you. I can feel it. Oh, my power. I haven't told you about it. A creation. Let's find a creation. One not being watched. Then I'll explain my power. Okie dokie. Oh, this creation is perfect. But I don't remember seeing it before. Perhaps it's new? Anyway, I'll try reading its mind. That's my power. I can't read it. Or maybe there's nothing to read. Wait, please wait. I'll try again. With you this time. You might find out a lot you don't want to know about. Greetings, can you hear me? This is my power. I can read the emotions of those around me and project my emotions to others in return. Huh. We could really use you in the source right now. Like, really use you in the source right now. I'm not actually speaking to you in my mind. Rather, you are converting my emotions into words and intention, a process performed subconsciously by intelligent life forms. This ability is vital to my mission, for it allows me to interact with intelligent beings, even should they communicate via unknown languages or other nonverbal means. As a consequence, I am clumsy at speaking. Yet though I struggle to express myself in this fashion, Hermes wants me to speak as much as possible, for everyone has thoughts and feelings that they may wish to hide. I harbor an affection for you, one that is difficult to define. Aside from the fact that you share common traits with us, your thoughts are complex, prismatic. They draw me in and leave me wanting to know more. Out of respect for your privacy, I will refrain from using my power when speaking with you. Nevertheless, I want you to know that I wish to be your friend. I love her. She's so cute. Did you hear me? Huh, good. Now it's my turn again. So what are you good at? Fighting, crafting, gathering, playing? It's a secret. I do like crafting and gathering. We'll say gathering. Oh, gathering. I like gathering too. Where do you gather? What? Oh wait, what do you gather? Where do you go? How do you get there? Do you fly too? If I have a mount. It's looking at us. I think we're bothering it. Let's keep going. We'll go and see Yuanthe next. She's usually in a small building on the west row. Well, if it isn't Meteion, I see you've brought a friend today. Greetings, Yuanthe. An apple. Could you make me an apple? The kind like Hermes likes, covered in syrup? I want to share it with Celeste. Oh, candied apple. Hermes is certainly partial to them, but you know you can't eat Meteion. You weren't made to do so. But I like it too. It may seem that way, but it's due to your ability to share others' feelings. You've taken Hermes' likes for your own. In any case, I can't prepare an apple right now, but I'll bring one for Hermes soon, I promise. I'm sorry, Celeste. I wanted to show you my favorite thing, then I can ask about yours, but I failed. I'll tell her what I like. Oh, that's what you like. Yes, I can feel it. Your joy and happiness. And it makes me happy too. Thanks for sharing it with me, Celeste. Well, we've talked and walked a lot. Maybe Hermes has finished talking too. Shall we go see? Yes, let's do it. I don't know if I missed any other chat points. I didn't see any. Just the one right there. So let's head back. There you are. I can see the fresh air has done Meteion good. Celeste wanted to learn about you and Elpis, so I taught her. About this place, about my power, about your favorite food. I'm not sure the last one will be of any use. But I do appreciate you keeping Meteion company. While you were away, I finished speaking with our guests. Finished? Hardly. You requested time to consider the invitation, so we have no choice but to occupy ourselves with an inspection of your work. My apologies. It has been decided that Emmett Silk and Hythlodeus will accompany me as I tend to my duties. If you wish to learn more, perhaps you would like to come too. I'm compelled to remind you that she is in no way associated with the Convocation. We simply chanced to meet at the Propylion. There is no guarantee that the matters we discuss will remain private. I do not mind. To see the joy her presence brings to Meteion, I cannot imagine our mysterious friend harbors malicious intent. Celeste is kind. Really, truly, she taught me as much as I taught her. You're coming, of course, to watch Hermes. You're bound to learn lots and lots. If everyone is ready, there are a few creations I need to check on. First, we shall return to the spot where we found our wayward ambystoma. Have care when you step outside a hub, for there may be unruly creatures about. This here is a new species of Petalota we've recently let loose. It's been doing very well, managing to maintain a stable existence thus far. If it can see its observation period to the end without issue, we shall release it unto the world. Tell me, do you know the difference between living beings and arcane entities? Their ether? It is the presence of a soul. Ah, yet the soul isn't something you can choose to have at will. No, it manifests only in those beings whose forms adhere to the laws of creation, that can endure on their own. Beings that do not fulfill this requirement, such as those spontaneously born of magic or natural phenomena, do not have souls. No matter how much it might resemble flora or fauna, if it lacks a soul, then it is considered an arcane entity. So you see, it is not for mankind to decide what is living. That domain lies beyond our manipulation, and it is hubris to assume otherwise. But come, let us head to the nearby beacon. I've received a report that arcane entities have gathered there. Ah yes, lightning pneuma, just as the report said. Although we can call this structure a beacon due to its form, it is in fact a magical device. By manipulating the balance of elements, it keeps the isle airborne and maintains the climate thereupon. In the course of its operation, it often sees an internal shift towards a given element. Right now, that element is lightning, which draws the pneuma here to replenish their ether. It appears Meteion is busy. Would you care to assist me in her stead and feed the pneuma? Sure. By using this lightning converger, you can harness ambient lightning and focus it into a ball, a veritable feast for our dazzling friends. Go on, give it a try. God. Oh, Hermes, this is tough because, you know, we fought Elpis in the last expansion, and prior to this, he's always been a bad guy. But now there's like this whole other side of him, and he's so sweet, and it's okay. All right, I'll be all right. Perfectly done, Celeste. Look. See how they gather to feed, how they express themselves through their actions despite their lack of words. Speech is not the sole defining characteristic of a thinking, feeling creature, nor is silence an indication that they do not possess these qualities. Be it a soulless arcane entity such as the pneuma, or an ephemeral life form such as a petalota, all seek to perpetuate their existence, to survive. I'm gonna say that one. Is she a living being? A good question. I can answer it from a theoretical standpoint, but it ultimately falls to the Bureau of the Architect to pass judgment. Those with exceptional vision, such as Hythlodeus, may be able to ascertain her true nature. But to me, it doesn't matter. She is herself, and that is all I need to know. Oh, you finished already. I'm sorry, I was in the way. Not to worry, my dear. They miss nothing of note, and we will still have plenty of work for them to observe. Next, we will head to the Morning Dew. I need to speak with some observers there. This is so tough. Like, you know who these people are, and now I'm trying to, like, come to terms with that. Well, I mean, we always knew that they were more of a morally gray character, but
Amazing, is it not? The Ampelos, one of our newest subjects. So, how are we coming along?
Oh, it's the flower.
This place is Elpis. Those flowers. Elpis.
Okay, so they are still called
Enteleckies.
Elpis.
Like me.
And to what?
They are a product of Elpis, and so named for their birthplace. A happy accident, born of the hands of a former researcher who loved beautiful blossoms. Unique for how they change color, to reflect the emotional state of those nearby.
Interesting that we still have them.
Though be it here or elsewhere, they are seldom seen in any hue save purest white.
Reflect the emotional state, you say? By what means do they achieve this?
In creation, there exists an energy wholly apart from ether, one driven by emotions.
Akasha.
In like manner to how we manipulate ether, this flower is subject to the influence of said energy. While it has no will of its own, it is sensitive to the prevailing emotion in the vicinity, and reacts by altering its color and vibrancy.
Akasha? It is one of the unseen energies defined by Harnish alchemical theory. Though a gross oversimplification, some describe it as an essence influenced by feeling.
Akasha. Though I'm not familiar with the term, your description suggests it is the self-same energy.
Did I just cause a butterfly effect? Is it going to start being called Akasha because I have called it Akasha?
Dynamis, we call it.
Oh, okay.
And those entities like the Elpis flower that have the ability to interact with this energy, converting emotions into tangible phenomena, are Antelekis.
Oh, okay.
That's me! That's me! An Enteleki!
That you are, my dear. And no ordinary one at that, but the first possessed of free will.
Wait. A form of energy other than ether? Dynamis?
Did you not know about this?
I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh, okay. Well, we're teaching him too.
Hardly surprising. Dynamis cannot be seen, much less felt. And though its existence has long been theorized, we had no proof until the flower's serendipitous creation. What's more, Dynamis is far weaker than ether. Under normal circumstances, its effects are drowned out by the latter, on account of which, beings comprised of and reliant upon the ether, like you and I, are unable to make practical use of Dynamis.
I'm trying to think of how that fits into people that are turning into the blasphemies. Does it mean that maybe they have some sort of etherical imbalance? Like, are they more towards the Akasha side of things than the ether side of things? Is that possible? Because all of those monsters, when they become monsters, are lacking ether. Well, it's a new theory to think about.
'Tis a truly esoteric thing, known to but a select few scholars.
Intriguing. Then, given the limitations you described, why create Meteion?
Why not?
Our star, Aetheris, is especially rich in ether, so much so that its name is derived from it.
Oh.
However, when we consider all energy in existence here and in the vast space beyond, Dynamis may account for as much as 68.3%.
So, okay, speaking in terms of real world stuff, is that the equivalent of dark matter? Because dark matter takes up a whole lot of space in space.
The more abundant form by far. Were we able to control it, we could open the door to limitless possibilities. 'Tis not unlike a gently flowing stream, unable to break through the dam of ether barring its path. But if we could imbue the stream with the vigor of a raging river... not that I have such grand ambitions. Nay. I merely wish to create a being that could traverse the great expanse.
I have a feeling she's going to become very important.
The relative scarcity of ether beyond the bounds of this star was a concern. And so, I looked to another source of energy by necessity.
That being Dynamis. No wonder her ether is so thin.
Yep. And why she can do what she
Precisely.
does.
Yours is thin too. Like an Enteleki. Like me.
It's more that I'm not unsundered. But nobody knows
So-
that.
Are we the same? Entelekis.
Or is everybody that's been sundered more of an Enteleki? Because we do have less ether than the ancients. There's so much to think about. Well, I have been known to transcend my limits with nothing but determination. If I'm thin, it's because Emmett Selk didn't do a proper job. I mean, I don't see why I couldn't be one.
I think not. Your nature remains a mystery, but ere I reinforced you, you appeared to be little more than a common familiar, and a faded one at that.
You know, you don't have to be so rude.
A deficit of ether alone does not an Entelechy make. It would, however, make it easier for you to interact with Dynamis. And limited though its influence may be, this quality could prove the difference between victory and defeat. You do well not to underestimate it.
Okay.
Oh dear. I'd forgotten about the poor fella. You must excuse me a moment while I go and verify a few more things.
I still can't get over how much of a sweetheart he is. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it even if we knew, but it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the Celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be persuaded to join, that is. I still can't understand his hesitation. What do you specialize in? Oh ho, you wish to know why Emmett Selk was chosen for the Convocation. I should be glad to share the tale. It began when? Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, I want to learn about Hermes, not me. We're here to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Well, I am curious, though. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well with the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released unto the world. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. As in the monster from, what was it? Iliad? No, the Odyssey. I believe it's from the Odyssey. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main island and head north. I think I've mentioned before, I love Greek mythology. So the fact that everybody here is named from, like, Greek myths is very cool for me. I really like it. It's one of my favorite subjects to study in school. Also, the music here is gorgeous. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I really like it. I understand there is a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to the adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, it is capable of flight. The specimens created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This third-generation creature was born with an etheric balance leaning strongly towards water. Its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished, and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. For such change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau what the concept we've revised. With this etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis would indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed that at first, it may simply have yet developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it. I am struggling again, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. What? You needn't go to such lengths? You don't know. But of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates the vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form, and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Yet convenient though it may be, transforming in the presence of others is considered vainglorious to the extreme, as uncouth and unseemly as running around robeless, shameful. Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort. It's just that when transformed, I can wield the wind and fly. Hence the name Hermes. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? Oh my god, I cannot get over how wholesome he is. They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Yes, I believe I have a solution. Emmett Silk, may I trouble you to move that Charybdis away from its fellows, somewhere out of sight? Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare here. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. I trust you don't mind? I like how it just follows him. Emmett Silk is out of sight? Good. Let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emmett Silk train the Charybdis. Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see ether currents. And with his adept spellcraft, he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you described, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be. As I mentioned, it would also be for his own sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. Celeste, I want you to go to Emmett Silk. Tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go now, and good luck. Okay, I have to say, I have a favor to ask. Okay. Oh, no you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. I don't know what Hythlodaeus is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse. If Hythlodaeus is to be believed, relentless insistence may serve to wear down the ever-weary Emmett Silk. What chat mode and say please Emmett Silk. Okay.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
I actually kind of enjoy this.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emmett Silk. Please teach her to fly.
What's interesting is that if I remember from the Odyssey, which I haven't read that in like 25 years, wasn't it a water creature? I'm pretty sure it was in the water.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Oh, you know.
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emmett Silk. Please.
How could you say no to that face?
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I'd thank you to remember this favor and let it be the last.
Whoa.
I will aid it once it has taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we?
I would love nothing more.
You were wondering why Emmett Silk joined the Convocation.
Oh, are you going to tell me now?
Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was. On the strength of my ability to see ether.
I love how he also used this to distract Emmett Silk so that he could tell me the story. That's pretty great.
But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it? Emmett Silk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them. Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend.
Who?
A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others.
Oh, gee,
Where
I wonder.
she walks, excitement is certain to follow.
I wonder if it's possible for me to meet Azim while I'm here, or is that going to cause like some rift or instability, or I don't know.
Her antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him. They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world.
Aww.
And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine. And together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you. I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul. I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Yay!
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on. Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
I'm getting really teary-eyed because, you go the entire game since ARR. You go the entire game, and the Ascians are the bad guys, right? But now we have this. And it's really hard to come to terms with the fact that they were not as bad as we thought. They had their own motivations. There were reasons for what they were doing. Emerging from his reverie, Emmett Selk notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. And Celeste and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it to achieve this, the Charybdis is a herd animal. They may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion if and when the need arises. Keeping that in mind, I bid you to continue observing them. If that is what you want. But if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have just the concept adjusted? That way we could guarantee that abnormalities such as this specimen are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief. As you wish. Hermes. I'm fine. Don't worry. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Aneuresis for now. I cannot say that. I don't know how to say it. What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. Tell me, Celeste, in the course of watching me, have you learned aught of value? Dynamis. Dynamis seems promising. Yeah, honestly, it does. Dynamis, you say? Curious that such an obscure phenomenon should be of interest to you. Chief Hermes, what good fortune to find you here. Is something the matter? The Lycheon. I'm afraid it's done it again. No sooner did we release one for observation than it set upon the nearby occupites, slaughtering them. Occupites? Was the creature hungry, or somehow provoked? I had just fed it myself, and the occupites were keeping a wide berth. It is of the nature of the Lycheon that is to blame, their innate viciousness. Temperament aside, it is an outstanding creation, perfect in form and function. Though it may be suited for release, I've no doubt that the Bureau will accept its concept for preservation. In any case, there's no point in postponing the inevitable. Doros will revert them all at once, all once the paperwork is in order. Where is the scene of the incident? Just off the path of the 12 Wonders. As you make your way, you should see it on the left. I don't know if Doros is still there, however. Hermes, wait! If this is part of his work, then I would observe. We follow. Alright then. The lacerations and burns are unmistakable. A Lycheon was indeed responsible. But the creature is nowhere to be seen. Doros must have taken it away. The man makes at his base at the 12 Wonders. I shall go and seek him out there. Emmett Silk and I will search the area for good measure, just to make sure the Lycheon did not escape. My thanks. Let us meet at the 12 Wonders when you have finished. I will go on ahead. Please follow with Celeste. Come, come. It's down this path over the bridge. There it is, the 12 Wonders. Hermes is looking for Doros. Let's look for Doros, too. He's a man with long blonde hair, I think. I'll know him when I see him. Meteion is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side and... Okay, yeah. If you're with Meteion, then I assume you're on an errand for Hermes. What can I do for you? Sorry, wrong person. We're looking for Doros. Ah, I see. We do have similar hair, so people often mistake us from afar. I hope you will find him soon. Once I get back and record today's results, I should finally be able to put that report to bed. Not Doros. His hair is long, but the wrong color. Doros, that's Doros. Well, no, if it isn't Meteion, what brings you here? Ah, I thought I heard familiar voices. I didn't realize you two had decided to help me search for Doros. Thank you. You're in charge of the Lycheons, I believe. Where are they now? Out in the fields in restraints? Frenzied as they were, I couldn't return them to Ktisis. Once I've submitted my report, I'll see them reverted without delay. It's as he says, the beasts are indeed quite ferocious. You're one of the 14. What brings you here? Nothing to concern yourself with, as you were. We've heard the news that a Lycheon slaughtered Occupides. As the observer in charge, you are of the opinion that they are not fit to be released? I am. Their abnormal aggression and exceptional strength makes for a highly problematic combination. It matters not where they are released. Lycheons would threaten other species and upset the natural order. Could it be that the specimens observed are an outlier? Highly unlikely. We've created a good many of them. All exhibit the same tendencies. Even when we used Kairos to begin with a fresh slate, their behavior was unchanged. Kairos? A memory reconfiguration system. The chief himself created it. It allows us to erase or alter memories, that we may observe creations in different environmental conditions without needing to remake them from scratch. Quite impressive, and potentially dangerous. Depending on the intensity of the etheric emissions, Pashtarat may wish to have a word with you. Rest assured, I've kept all values within prescribed limits, and to prevent misuse, its applications are limited to those authorized by the Chief Overseer. Do not misunderstand. To manipulate a subject's memories is an intrusive act I deeply abhor, but it is still preferable to execution. Come now, Chief. Let us not be so melodramatic. What was born of ether is simply being reduced to its original state. I know the distinctions concern you, but we mustn't lose sight of the bigger picture, making rational choices for the sake of a more prosperous star. If a creation cannot be properly studied even with the aid of Kairos, we remake it. If a creation is deemed a detrimental existence, we unmake it. 'Tis all for the greater good, and none question the necessity of such processes. I understand these things. I do. I would never think to unleash a clear and undeniable threat onto the world. Yet insignificant though their individual lives may be to all creation, it is all the Lycheones, is that how you say it? Have. Before we seal their fate, we owe it to these beings to exhaust all options, to ensure that nothing has been overlooked. If you insist, let me provide you with a full report, and we may take it from there. Would it be possible for us to attend the discussion, that Emmett Silk may better carry out his duties? By all means. Pray, show them to the meeting room. I wonder if she is somehow changing his emotions, because he seems to be acting differently than he normally does. Everybody seems to be reacting to how he's choosing to do things, and she does have the ability to do that. To man, other beings are just things to be used and controlled like magic. That's what Hermes told me once. Alright, I think I am going to end this episode here, because we have done quite a bit in this episode, and I think it seems like a pretty good stopping point here. I'm really enjoying this storyline, like seeing these people for who they actually were in the past is very enlightening, and also it makes me really sad because we've only ever seen them as the bad guys. I mean, sort of, like we've always kind of known that they were doing the things that they were doing because they were trying to make things better, but they were still bad guys mostly. So it's really interesting to see this, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I'm very interested in all of it. But yeah, I'm going to end here. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. You can also become a channel member or a fan house sub, which is an optional monetary support. I have links for those down below. And you can follow me on social media, which I have linked down below as well. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.